Hi, welcome back to the workshop journey. Mike's over in the workshop right now. I'm not really sure what he's working on, so how about we go over and find out. Okay, that's kind of weird.
Hey, Dominic.
You don't have anything set up, so what are we doing?
Well, I'm going on location and do a project to replace a kitchen faucet.
Oh.
And then put in a piece of plywood over top of the floor in the cabinet, because over the years it started to rot out. But it's a stick-built cabinet, so the plywood goes back under the sidewalls. So I'm just going to cut a piece of 1/4-inch plywood and notch it to fit, and that'll go over top of the base. But first is replace the faucets. Well, hey, Andy, I see you've already started looking at the faucet assembly.
Yep.
So while you do that and figure out how you're going to crawl under there, I appreciate you crawling under there. You're a little bit thinner than I am.
Just a little bit.
I'll go ahead and I'll measure for the base, and I'll go cut that piece of plywood
Sounds like a plan.
so we can move both items on.
All right.
So what are we working with?
Well, it's a basic faucet model. This is what I would personally call a single stem system, where everything that you need is coming up through a main body.
I'd agree with that.
So it's also got a flex hose nozzle that pulls out from the stem, so a little bit more convenient when working with whatever you need to in the kitchen.
Okay.
It honestly looks very straightforward, very simple. Got 2 hoses. One of them is, and one of them's gonna be hot and cold. We have a third one that's left out, but that's because we're gonna have to actually run it by hand through the faucet, and then coming down here to this white piece, it's gonna hook in.
Why do we have to run it through the faucet?
Well, because the head assembly is separate. So we gotta run the hose through this stem piece right here.
So it's not 2 different heads, it's one?
It's one head. It's one head.
Oh.
Everything comes through this head right here.
So for you guys watching, you can see we have 2 heads here. We're gonna switch it to 1, which is gonna be interesting, but should work.
It should definitely work. So we'll have our, as I said, we'll have our hot and our cold,
Okay.
and then this is going to be the hose piece for the nozzle that comes out.
Okay.
As I said, we're going to attach that to probably this end. This end is going to go where the head is. We're going to string it up and around. It's going to come out, and then before we attach it to this, because it's going to come out, I don't know if it can be seen or not, but it's going to come out through here.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to run out here, and we're going to loop it.
Okay.
And we're putting this weight, it's a clamp system, and it's going to run through there, clamp it together, snap, and then we're going to connect this end in here. And just from what I'm looking at, I mean, it should be, it looks like there's a button here, which that would only be if you had to release it from there, but it's just going to go in and snap. Most models of faucets nowadays, if you're going with a really simple faucet, it's just plug and play. Pop it in, it's already got the seals in there, it's got everything, you just jam it in there and go on.
So what's the weight exactly for it?
The weight is to make sure that the loop, when it comes down from the faucet part, doesn't get tangled up or twisted or anything. It just keeps it right at that hanging part, because it's water. You don't want any twists, you don't want any kinks in it. Not that you're going to get a whole lot of kinks with this kind of hose. It's made for that, but it's just an added extra thing to help keep everything where it should be. This one is actually different from other faucets that I've worked with.
Okay.
Other faucets I've worked with, it's a hard PVC pipe. It's still flexible, but it's PVC pipe that comes out of here, and it basically just bends to wherever your hookup is, so you're not flexing all over the place. You're just bending it around, and then it'll still have most time these nuts on them, depending on what kind of faucet it is, because they are keeping in mind they're going to newer builds. They'll have more of a snap together end to them, but that's only for brands that are built specifically for new build houses, that they know the plumbing is somehow manufactured, the couplers for the piping coming up is manufactured for a snap.
Shark bite.
Exactly. I have not seen them personally very often, but they're out there. So that's what it's looking like here. Like I said, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The biggest thing that's going to be our hang up actually isn't going to be putting the hoses where they're supposed to go. It's going to be disconnecting and tearing that out and keeping everything lined up with this, because contrary to popular belief, when you're installing a faucet here, you actually have to keep everything cinched down. So this plate here, this is a plate and this is the gasket. This is the gasket that's going into the plate the faucet's going to be attached to.
Right.
So we got to push this into the plate and then put it down on there. When that's going on, I have to attach these nuts and these nuts and these washers underneath around this plate while this is hooked up there free hanging.
Oh my.
Yeah. And so for that one part, I might have you help keep this vertical instead of going back and forth on me, because at that point, not only would I have to keep everything cinched up, I got to keep this thing from going back and forth on me.
Wanted to explain to everybody what this little platform is. Kitchen sinks are 22, 23 inches deep from, across the base. They've also got this 3 3/8 inch kick plate under them, toe plate. So that means when you're more than, 4 foot tall, as you're trying to work under there, your back.
Right. I have experienced that.
Trying to bend over. So this extra platform helps support the hips, take the strain off the back.
That's actually a really good idea. Might want to put a patent on that one. Make a couple extra meat on the side.
Do too much on that and it might snap on you.
That is true. So I think, so now we've got both valves turned off.
I'm gonna double check that.
Yep. Alright, so we are getting no water whatsoever through the faucet.
That's good to know.
That is an extremely good thing to know.
Less mess, more happy.
Definitely. Now, I got to work my way back in here.
Gee, you would think it's a big cabinet.
You would think, wouldn't you? However, such is not the case.
I have cleaned it out for you.
So.
The homeowners have been very helpful.
Alright, well, it's pretty much what I was expecting.
Okay.
However, that's going to be that might be an issue. Alright, do you by chance have a flashlight on you? How did I guess?
Probably because most faucets underneath are about the same. So, what do you need, if anything, from our toolbox? Tool belt.
I'm going to take a crescent wrench to start off with. Yep, that's what I expected.
Is that too big?
Nope. I have to work my arms around all this.
Around the drainage?
Yeah. To get back in here. Because as much as people would like to believe, faucets are not designed to be user-friendly half the time. Even with people who mean well, there's often a hiccup somewhere.
Would you rather use our ratchet with a pipe clamp type fitting to make it easier?
Good question.
Because that would be a longer arm but tighter maneuverability.
Good question. Well, I'm also have to dealing with some rust down here.
Oh, that's never fun.
Because this is a very old faucet fixture.
Okay.
So,
Sounds drive. Sounds drive. Sounds drive.
The previous faucet we had, it came up to here, and then we could no longer open a window.
Not good.
So if you're installing one of those high gooseneck faucets in front of a kitchen window, you might want to check to make sure your window crank and the faucet don't interfere with each other. So we had to make a trip to the store, do an exchange, replace the one faucet with the other. We kept with the Moen brand. This one though, instead of having the spray nozzle up in the gooseneck, it's going to be on the side of it. The base plate is set up for a 4-hole sink. Well, that's what I have. However, we have a fountain in the 4th hole, so we won't be using the base plate, but I'll have to get a cap for the 1 hole. And while they were working on that, I went ahead, I cut the new plywood base for down under there, and it's notched to go around the existing pipes and the electrical for the garbage disposal. So after we get all the plumbing done, I'll put that in. So now I think we're ready to go ahead and install this faucet. You know, the box says about an hour and a half. That's what the first box said, but that did not include demolition. So take that into consideration if you ever want to do one of these projects. Demolition may take a while.
Sounds drive. Sounds drive. Sounds drive.
Okay, I'm ready to turn on the hot. We'll see how that goes. All right, I have no leaks down here, nothing running down the tubing. Go ahead and try the cold. Try the hot.
I'm not getting any temperature difference.
There, it changed.
Okay.
Did you try this one?
Yeah. That's not a very strong spray. Unless that's because of the irrigation.
Aerator.
Aerator, yeah, that.
Okay, well, you can go ahead and put that back in. Just finger tight. So straight back is hot. That's what I thought. Rotate it around. That's cold. Okay. There we go. All right. All done. Job well done. Oh, hi. Thank you for watching the video.
We hope that you were entertained or educated by this video.
But that's not all for you to see.
So feel free to subscribe,
Like
share. We'll see you guys here next time
on the workshop journey.